Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today is a very important day. Do you know why? We're going to make our first creative item. Out of a few bajillion, but you get the gist, we want to start making the creative tank. And yeah, it does look like a horrible recipe, but it's actually not. It's very cheap. Why is it so cheap? Anyways, here is the deal. We're not just going to make one, we're actually going to automate its production, meaning that we're going to order it through our applied energistic system. And here's the reason why. We do need to have a few creative tanks around our base for automations, but we also need to have the creative tank in order to make something called a chaos plank. In Kappa mode, we needed only 8 chaos planks, so we needed to make like 8 creative fluid tanks, and that was easy to craft. But in Mythic mode, you need 6 chaos planks just to make 1 Omen ingot. And so far I counted that we need maybe 54 of them. That is 350 chaos planks, hence 350 creative tanks. But as usual, we need to have 1 creative tank in order to set the pattern for the automation interface. So we need some infinity tank, which we made last episode. That is probably more than enough. I was very desperate for some RAK, so I have already made the vacuum fluid output and input. This is from modular machineries. That goes something like so. We also need some neutral steel of the 11th degree. Let's take 2 stacks. That's 3. I know, it doesn't require that many, only 4. A few ultimate tanks, and this is why we have to automate this. I cannot place these things one by one. 4000k ME fluid storage component. When I have one, we dupe it. We are getting close. A bit of dynamic tanks, a few infinity ingots. We also need to have some mechanical pipes, but I'm not going to set a pattern for it. What we're going to do is that we're just going to craft it. It does have EMC, so who cares? And I should always pay attention that I don't mess up the recipe. Some creative essence. I don't really like mystical agriculture. I never paid attention that this is also purple. I have no idea what the hell you are. A silo from Erebus. I was going to say we shall have a pattern for you, but do you not work with a normal chest? Kind of stupid chest are you? Petrified wood. Well, as far as I know, what the hell are these? I was going to say that as far as I know, petrified wood is an ore. Of course, later on we are going to use our digital miner, but for the moment I just need some for a pattern. Oh, I'm standing on it. That doesn't give you much. Well, this seems to be rare and a bit biome dependent. The more trees that you have in a biome, the more chances you have. I never knew that. Why the hell would you look for petrified wood? Yeah. We get almost 1 stack. For the moment, I think that should be enough. We can go home. Of course, we can also animate the chest. No one cares. But if I have not done anything wrong, this should be our silo. What? Oh, you need another wood too. Why? Okay, on a very positive note, the other one has EMC. And if I'm not wrong, I should have all the garbage. No. Repellent. This biome that you see is called the Elysian Fields, and if we kill something over here, he should drop it. There is a bug. And remember, we just need the one. Sword of the Cosmos is amazing, but it doesn't have looting. It's that one. Yes, repellent. After killing a bunch of bugs, here is our varnished planks, which for some reason is an advancement, but we just copy it, maybe a bit more. So here are the silos, some superlaminar fluid ducts, and we also need a fluid tank from embers. Well, that has EMC. Let's just craft one and dupe it. Yeah, much easier. So that goes in the center, and now we have a problem. A few episodes ago, we started making some osmium crystals, and now we need to start making osmium clumps. I don't really know why. I just made a purification chamber, and do we have any more osmium left? 25. And since I just want to get 1 creative tank for the moment, here's what we're going to do. Which one is oxygen? Your oxygen. Then start processing. That goes over here, and ladies and gentlemen, this is not the creative tank. Why? It does say I have everything. Okay, this is the creative tank, I guess. But we want you to save the recipe, and obviously then we need to start auto-crafting it. I think for automation purposes, here's what we're going to do. Of course, we're going to have the automation interface, a crate on top. We sever these connections so that it's an independent system. As usual, we're going to have 2 interfaces because it's more than 9 ingredients. We shall ask it to export some of the items, hopefully with a crafting cart. Probably not the silo, so not yet. I need to animate the plank, this is very expensive. And I believe minus the tank from embers, this should be all the recipes. The ingredients. So in the meantime, let us animate this stupid block. We could have done the chest as well, but who cares. This one has an empty slot. And I do have a feeling we don't need infinity blocks anymore. I have like 200,000. Yeah, but who cares. Let's spawn them anyways. And yeah, we're getting it. Lovely. So now we can give this guy a crafting card so that it knows how to craft everything. A filter, but this time we're going to limit it to 16. The other ones are at 64, but the problem is that in order to make the creative tank, you're going to need items that don't really stack. So I don't want this crate to be full. And yes, you might notice that I'm not exporting one of the items. That is because I really want to try something. So if we have an interface here, and you know, do some janky cabling. Is it possible to tell the system that if you give it 1 embers tank, it's going to equal 1 creative tank? This is the first time I used this option. So let us configure this guy and see if we can order one. Well, you made it. Which one is it? Oh, you're the one. Creative tank. Isn't that a quest? Oh, it is. If that is the case, we shall have a filter for creative tank and we would be able to import it into our system. Okay, we might have to change the recipe. You know, instead of the fluid tank from embers, we're just gonna say 6 ultimate tanks. You know, something like this, equals 1 creative tank. Because it keeps trying to put the ultimate tanks in and it's messing up the other things. Yeah, stop doing that. And I have no idea why this creative tank does not stack with the other ones. But let us order one more. I kind of give up. The tank that you hold in your hand is always different than the tank that you want to automate. And you run into so many different types of problems. So we're just gonna get some osmium. That should be a decent supply of clumps for the moment. The digital miner is also getting more osmium, don't you worry. Yeah, this is going to be much better. We just craft a bunch. Exactly. It's just gonna consistently craft it until we get a few stacks. I'm hoping this is the last trip to the lost cities. We have a decent supply of osmium, and I think our crafting table is still making us creative tanks. Yep, we have 75 and 2. These are the 2 ones I touched. I don't know why they don't stack. It says NBT 2 tags, this one has 1 tag. You see, that is actually the problem that I'm having. I just wanted to clarify something. It's not that we're just making tanks, we're making creative tanks. You know, this recipe over here, and so far we have 88. 90 actually. But it's nice, we're getting 1 every 5 or 6 seconds. I like that. Although now that we are getting creative tanks, let us use some of them. In the hunting dimension we have a setup for producing lava and it's not the best thing for lag because these crucibles keep updating. We just remove all of that. That is 352,000 buckets of lava. That's quite a bit. So instead we're just gonna have a creative tank and that's it. We don't even need the black hole tank. Ever. Of course, one thing that you can always do is to put the creative tank on top of the black hole tank and, you know, just export the items. Then it's gonna fill in the entire black hole tank. I am saying that just in case you're short on creative tanks. We're not, so we don't care. Also, I just noticed some machines are consuming lava and I have no idea which one they are. You're making blazing pyrotheum? Okay. Do that. I have been running my pink slime farm for a very long time, but we don't need to do that anymore. That is meat, this is pink slime, and we can just vein mine the rest. Bye bye. Have fun. We just throw everything into the void. Just in case we are going to need a rhodium or petroleum or something similar. How do you get it out? Give me a bucket. Thank you. We're also going to have a creative tank for all of them, obviously. In this way, I suppose I can turn off all of these machines because we don't need them anymore. Saves on a bit of lag. For oil, honestly, I'm not too worried because it doesn't affect anything. We can keep it. I love this. Infinite of everything. Oh, infinite of everything means something else too. And yes, we have 167 more creative tanks. Can you give me some experience? And you know, maybe an XP obelisk. The question is, how fast are we going to get experience? 5,000 levels. I like that. I really do. Oh, that is the maximum levels you can have. 21,000 levels. That's a shame. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a creative world, and I have no idea why I'm carrying my sword. That should be a glitch. Anyways, the reason that we are here is that we want to try something together. Here is a chaos plank. Here is a wand of animation. This is something that everybody used to tell me in Kappa mode, but it didn't work there. Does it work here? No, so you can't animate it. But we can get a stack of Omen ingots and take it to our own world. Now, yes, we are back at our base and I was thinking while we are waiting for a few quintillion creative tanks, we fix this wall. Yeah, looks much more clean. Ignore this part. Also, just out of curiosity, what the hell are you? Crude oil. Well, another part of my curiosity is that do we need crude oil? Not really. Go to hell. Very good. Neat, nice, and clean. It's just that my biggest issue is that I have no idea if our setup for neutral steel of the 11th magnitude is enough or not. I mean, I can always make this thing a bit faster. You need 11th in order to make the infinite chaos bubble, which has quite a bit of uses. Oh, and you need the 10th for a lot of other gizmos. Maybe it has to go faster. Well, you see, here's the thing. I have almost used 100 of the 11th degree in order to make creative tanks. Yeah, actually a bit more, maybe 900, because we have 228 creative tanks. And also those ones. And that one. The part that we might have to improve is the production of the 11th degree. 10th, 9th, and 8th can be improved already because we can just upgrade the machines. So the part that we really have to work towards is this part. The 7th. Also, for some reason, this is bugging me. Why is it here? So I do have a very small plan. Let us implement it. Wrong machine. Yes, the correct machine. Obviously, since we have creative tank, we don't need oil ever again, so we just take one bucket. I just want to keep the refineries, otherwise we can just have a creative tank for every single fluid. My dearest fluid cows, you have been serving the empire for a very long time, but now you're redundant. So enjoy the afterlife. I don't really have to do that with an acid, but it's more fun. For me, not for them. Oops, didn't know you can do that. Can I put it back? Okay. We are going to start scaling our setup, and yes, this is how I make crushers. It should remind you of making dispensers in vanilla Minecraft. We're going to have 22 more crushers, 11 on each side. Obviously, we are going to need some metallurgic infusers. We can have a bit less, so 9 on each side. That means 36 furnaces and 18 more steel casing. Oh, and by the way, the reason that we are doing this inside a compact machine is that I'm really scared of having too many machines in the overworld or in the same dimension. I don't really want to cause unnecessary lag. That's it. But we have the crushers, we have the infusers, we need to configure them, which is going to take a bunch of time, even with the configuration card. So this is our setup for the neutral steel of the 7th degree, and we are using energy condenser in order to provide them with tin, as well as neutral steel of the 6th. I absolutely have no idea how fast this thing is going to be, but let us give it a try. Machines are not upgraded, so it's not gonna be fast. Okay, they started. Oh, we crashed. Awesome. Oh, we crashed horribly. Well, it seems that we crashed because there was a rendering issue, but now everything seems to be fine. And this is the speed that we're getting neutral steel of the 7th degree. It's not that bad. Actually, I think we're done here, and that is for oil. And considering that 7th goes inside this drawer, we just have to export it. And maybe export it faster. Yeah, so now our basic injecting factory is working at maximum speed. This one is also working at maximum speed, and you should also work at, this is the maximum speed. But if necessary, we can always upgrade them, don't you worry. Okay, we have almost around 300 creative tanks, and well, I thought maybe we should do some calculations. Somebody suggested that we do this with a visual guide, meaning a screen, so we're gonna do that. And don't you worry, the CPU is going to go away. Oh, wait a minute. You're even. Were you supposed to be even? Well, maybe it was. We will have 2 screens. We just make them bigger so that you can see it as well. And we are going to do some calculations for the endgame. The final item that we have to craft is called the creative EMI storage cell. Amazing recipe, right? Does require 4 creative chests and a ton of Omen ingots, and as you guys remember, Omen ingots requires a lot of chaos planks. However, I had a chit chat with Prince Thomas, the traitor, and he made a very good point. He said you need 1 creative chest in order to dupe the other items. I cannot say he's right, but he's not wrong. So this is our goal, and making calculations is going to be much easier. We need 4 chaos planks in order to make a creative chest, we need a 5th one in order to dupe it in the creative chest, and we also need 4 Omen ingots. And each one of them requires 6 chaos planks, so that makes it 29 chaos planks? Oh boy, that is a horrifying recipe. You need like 29 wands of animation. But it's better than 50 or 60 that I was planning. I never knew that the text screen module stacks. I'm a genius. So, creative chest needs 29 chaos planks. We know that already. That means we also need like 29 creative tanks, which we have a bit more. Yeah, 300-ish. So this is going to be manageable. I was also checking how many chaos ingots we need per chaos plank. You might notice that there are 14 here, but that's not correct. Because for example, in order to make the creative generator, you need more chaos ingots. Therefore, in total, you need 20 chaos ingots per plank. Also, you need 11 chaos catalysts per chaos ingot, and well, this is the recipe of the chaos catalyst, so it's not cheap. And this is the total number of chaos catalysts that we need, 6,380. But did you know there is a glitch? I have to quit the game. We start a new series. Bye bye. No, but it's not that bad. We can do that. Also, how would you make it nicer? You know, can we have some colors? Purple? Yeah, we mix and match. So this is what we have to work towards, and I think we are almost good. I have 38,000 ultimate singularities, which we didn't need. We have 11,000 ultimate stew and almost 7,000 in this pearl, so yeah, that should cover everything. I just did some recalculations, the number seems to be correct. Ignore the one on the left. What do I do with all those creative tanks? Did you know that there are no infinite water sources in the game, so maybe we can use one of them for water? Amazing. Maybe another one for sulfuric acid? Lovely. No, we shouldn't waste them, but we don't really need to make any more, obviously. Oh, another thing is that some of you guys were asking for a very small project that I think I'm going to do on this island, and I think we don't need to fight the Guardian of Gaia anymore. But here's the thing, we don't really need to make Gaia spirits, but he does drop ruins. And we always need ruins in order to craft something. The problem is that every single ruin from Botania has been ruined by Lordcraft. I'm gonna farm him for the last time, and then we call it a day, we remove everything. Oh, and by the way, we're going to get the hardest achievement ever. fighting him without armor. Did we get it? No. I thought we can cheat and get it. So let me farm him a few times for ruins, and I'll be right back. I have a feeling that we don't need runes ever again. You might notice that there has been a large time gap between the last clip and now, and there is no footage for that, and I can assure you I did a lot of experiments. The fact of the matter is, one of the items that we need in very large quantities is ectoplasm, these bonsai pots over here. I realized you can capture the spirits. I did a ton of experimentations with chemical throwers, potions, potion diffusers, and etc. in order to farm ectoplasm, and eventually I realized the best thing that we can use is a Killer Joe with a Spectre Sword. It works really fine, but I opened a can of worms that I really shouldn't have opened. I have nothing but regret. So in addition to Nuclear Craft and Lordcraft, we have another amazing mod, a Content Tweaker. These are basically the custom recipes that we need in order to make a chaos plank, correct? So the first thing I noticed is that I made a horrible boo-boo. There is a Cazadorian metal, which you need it in order to make the chaos plank. You need 2 of them in fact, and each one of them requires 8 chaos ingots. So that brings up our total to 36, and the grand total to 11,484. Oh, it doesn't fit. It's fine. We make another line for that. Plates, gears, and metals that you see over here are basically singularities, correct? Some of them are very cheap because they have EMC. Well, to be honest with you, most of them are very cheap because they have EMC, but some of them are not. For example, the one which requires the Spectre Coil. We will get to that very soon, but you might notice that in order to make a chaos plank, we need 2 of these ingots. That means a minimum of 58 of each singularity, let us say 59, just in case we want to copy one of them. And each singularity requires 13,099 items. And 59 times 13,000 equals to 772,841. So, hi. Again, for some of the items, it's not that bad. A million ender pearls, not a problem. But 70,700,000 tar is a bit of a problem. I opened the can of worms. I don't know what to do. So we need to start changing our base a bit and optimize. Oh, and by the way, the items that you see in front of you are just to make chaos planks. This is the very end game item. But obviously we need to start it as soon as possible. And just to show you the deep amount of problems that we have in order to make 770,000 Spectre coils, these are the items that we need. 8 million ectoplasm. Okay, let us regroup. We don't need creative tanks anymore, obviously. I actually just made an additional stack. And what we need to do instead is to start making some infinity catalysts. I mean, obviously automate it. We already have some infinity catalysts. Never have Indus pearls on your hotbar. And don't ask me how I know. So this was literally the most easiest part. Now we come to the additional problem of missing around 8 million ectoplasm. This system that we have over here is going to give us 8 million ectoplasm in around 200 years. In real life. This on the other hand gives us a better chance, that is 512 bonsai pots with saplings, and they are going to give us somewhere around 10 ectoplasm per second. So in around 200 hours, this should be done. And yeah, that is a lot of time, but sounds about right. Another one of these weird singularities is the Auro blocks. You know, the one from the Snow Queen castle, which considering the fact that we're here, we might as well kill her. Where are you? Enderbow! Yes, shouldn't we see the boss? Oh, okay. Hello. And bye-bye. Again, we are going to need around 700,000 of this. We might as well spawn them. Where is my wand of animation? Yes, thank you. This should be relatively fast. I'm not really worried about this one, because I can assure you it has not been 200 hours that I started spawning the 8-time compressed block of emerald, and we have a million. All I'm saying is that this should go relatively well. Yeah, 4 spawners right next to each other. We should be fine. Oh my goodness. I removed the filter for the wood. We need to remove the mob. Also, we don't need infinity blocks. Let us not waste resources. And apart from the wood, which I made a boo-boo, there is nothing wrong. It should despawn on its own. So what are you? Infinity block? And you're the wood? Lovely, you go over there. Yeah, the Auro block is fine. We're getting it fast enough. Red Aurum ingot. This is an alloy? Oh, blood and gold. I never noticed we have it. Probably a mix-up in the smeltery. I think just before we wrap up today, we might as well talk about tar. And by talking, I mean do something about it. So we can animate oil sand. There is a 50% chance of getting tar. That's not bad. We can refine oil. There's also a 50% chance. Oh, I like this one. Liquefacted coal. How do you make liquefacted coal? That's easy. We have 1 million Naga scales. I forgot to disable it. How long have you been running? Probably for a while. We needed like 15,000. Talking about things that we don't really need, I think one of them is slime pearls as well. The thing is, we have 7,000 in this pearl, so we're not that far off. We need like 5,000 more. And we have 105,000 slime pearls. That should be enough for another 25,000. Which we don't really need. And the slime spawner causes a ton of lag. And you know, it's like literally in the middle of the base. Oh my goodness, it's so much better. Yeah, when I was looking at this, I was down to 50 FPS. Now we're at 120. Lovely. So the only machine that we have so much is a magma crucible. Here is a creative fluid tank with liquefacted coal. In order to make tar, we are going to use a fractionating seal, correct? There is an augment for it, but that only increases the efficiency of the fluid that you're going to get, which we don't really care about the fluid. We just want this stupid thing, tar. Also, there is no blocks of tar. I'm assuming this is something that they have hidden. No? Okay, maybe that was just a 1.16 thing. Anyways, we don't really need that augment, we just need to increase the speed. There is also another augment for byproducts. Yes, machines increases the chance of secondary product. And it goes in anything. And it's cheap. Okay, that's good. I like that. What if we increase the output? Oh, it's lower. 70% chance at a faster speed is better for me. Then again, maybe not. Yeah, with this it's almost 100%. Okay. We know what to do. Power is something that we don't really have to go that crazy with. We only need like 750,000, and I was thinking maybe we set it up over here. You know, because we don't need experience, we don't need essence, but the problem is that I like that pipe. So we just make something, I don't know, maybe here in front of it. Is it centered? Yes. I'm amazing at placing blocks. I know. And really garbage at math. It's okay. We just need one more, which goes over here. And no, this time I'm not garbage at math, because we have an extra one here. Lovely. 12. Oh, and by the way, I made myself an ability totem. I think the first one that we got, I throw it in the void. The thing is, I have to play on a larger GUI so that everybody can see everything. And well, my abilities were too much, so I couldn't see the hotbar. Not the hotbar, the favorites. So this is extremely cheap. You make it, you right click, and you can store your abilities inside. We don't really take any damage, we don't need regen. 12 fractionating seals should be more than enough for us. I'm voiding the resulting fluid, which I think was naphtha, and we're importing the tar into our system. The only thing remaining is to upgrade them. There is a mob and he despawned. Seriously, there is a mob. Where are you? Oh, maybe there is a hole back here. That's fine. We're not gonna open it. But we are getting tar at a decent rate, and that's good enough for me. And these are basically every single singularity which does not have an EMC. Now that the tar situation has been solved, you're off the list. And let us have a very small test with Spectre coils. 3,000 of them. Oh, we can make it. Okay, then make it. Holy. That is fast. There is another singularity for industrial machine chassis from Enderio. That's also 700,000. And you know, by 700,000, I almost mean 800,000, the number that we have here. I'm not really sure. Are chassis something that we can animate? Oh, you can't place it down. Ew, that's not a good sign for animation. So basically what it comes down to is that I have to craft almost 800,000 of it. Can we have 800,000 of you? Pay attention, things have EMC. So we just dupe this one, and obviously dupe it a bit faster because we need a ton. This is actually not a horrible crafting recipe. Lapis powder does not have EMC, that is a problem. Quartz does not, the organic dyes do. 800,000 divided by 6, because we get 6 dye blends at each iteration, is 134,000 dyes. That's a bit. And of course we have to craft it. We need to start automating that, and automations like this are going to be very temporary. So we're going to have a very temporary setup up there. You know, we have a free space for 3 machines. Let's use it. I do have a feeling that 3 machines is all we need. 2 of them are going to be sag mills, and 1 of them is going to be an alloy smelter. The big ones. So sag mill, alloy smelter. I think for speed purposes, we're going to go with translocators. And we want to be able to export quartz and lapis. Wait a minute. Oh, I did not connect you. My bad. So are you guys getting the garbage? Yes. We're just going to export the items from the back like so. And you know, import them back in. Obviously the crushed version. So now the question is, can you make me, I don't know, 20,000 dye blends? Maybe I should wait a bit. Can you make me 1,000? Without crafting? Yes. So if that is the case, it's going to be relatively easy. We export the chassis and the blend into the alloy smelter, and you should also start working. Oh, press the button. Yeah, it works fine. We don't even need to have glowstone. But what we do need is some power. Yeah, it's not super great, but we almost have 300 of it. Yeah, I'm actually okay with the speed. So we don't need the gear anymore. You're off the list. And while we are doing everything, we might as well try to make one of those singularities. Yes, we have our quantum compressors. And yes, you see the hammer. I haven't automated these things yet. So you are exporting draconium, which is a good thing, because that's the one that we're going to make. Basically, what I want to know is that how long is it going to take? Well, it does seem quite a bit. What if we extract faster? I just added one more connection. This is not bad. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. We almost have the first one. Yay! We got it. 58 more to go, out of a few thousand singularities. Well, there's another one which is semi-easy to do, but it's going to take a very long time. Crystal matrix ingot. The thing is, we have 107,000 crystal matrix blocks, but we need to convert all of them into ingots. You know, we have to use a factorizer. So what if we have a crate over here, temporarily? We shall export the blocks. Does it go in? Shouldn't you go in? Oh no, of course you shouldn't go in. It has to be a normal interface. And then, you know, we actually have to pipe it out. I think there was a way that you could orient them. Nah, this is fine. So we shall just export you to a factorizer, and that should make us the ingots. It's not very fast, I give you that. Hence, we shall use 2 factorizers. Much better. Oh, and by the way, I put a sag mill over here in order to make mana dust from mana-infused ingots. We also need that for the Spectre Coil. So far it has made us 84,000 pulverized mana-infused metal. Yeah, but the matrix is also fine, so after Draconium, we're gonna make that one. I also just ordered 10,000 more dye blends and yeah, that's fast. We just need around 110,000 more. Also, before I forget, we have something relatively important to do. We're going to have a sludge boiler, but refiner. Fine. That is a creative tank for sludge. You shall have all the upgrades, you shall have some power. Lovely. We're getting the garbage. And we import it into our system. And as usual, import it a bit faster. Yeah, thank you. We're not refining sludge in order to get dirt, we're doing it in order to get grave dust. Because I made a promise to some of you guys and I think I have to keep it. It's getting late. And yes, we're going to have a few graves. This time, named ones. I actually forgot. Was it iron? Yes, the recipe itself has not been changed. I just made the wrong plate. I made a promise. The first one is going to be for broth. Then of course it's going to be raw, and me really doesn't know how to pronounce this, but I'm guessing Zint. He said nuclear craft is an amazing mod. How dare you? We're going to decorate this place later on, but for the moment we shall have our graves something like this. So my dearest fellow Lords of Darkness, welcome to the graveyard. It looks ugly, I know. I'll fix it. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.